Welcome to Tuesday Travel Chat. I'm one of your hosts, Julia.
I'm Bob, your other host.
And soon we're going to be talking with Lindsay from Maui. But
Aloha.
First today, we've got to get to some news. Bob, it's been a wild week. Where do we begin?
Let's start at the beginning with Carnival, shall we? Carnival Cruise Lines made a threat the other day that they're about had it with restrictions, and they want to move all their ships off U.S. ports. Obviously, not a happy thing for Florida, for Texas, for New York, wherever Carnival sails from. So that was the big headline. That was last Tuesday. Carnival threatened that, and they're still threatening it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and then right after that, on Thursday, DeSantis followed up with his threat to start suing, but he filed the lawsuit on Thursday.
Yes, he did. The Governor DeSantis of Florida did file the lawsuit, saying that it is directly and terribly impacting the state of Florida to the tune of $3.8 billion in lost business for the first 3 months alone. So it's a very important part of the economy. It's a very important part of travel, and it doesn't make sense why they're not allowing it. And along with that, he held a press meeting on Friday at the Port of Miami, reiterating the fact that he was going to sue. And the suit, I believe, was officially filed yesterday by the Attorney General. The paperwork was done, and it has been filed in federal court to make the Department of Transportation and other government authorities move much quicker in terms of getting us to a point where the ships can sail.
Well, and DeSantis is not the only one. Now, Governor of Alaska, right. Governor Dunleavy, is talking about also doing something very similar.
Yes, Alaska has been affected terribly by this. Last year, and if the ships don't go this year, they will have lost a total of almost $8 billion in revenue. Now, Alaska has oil. The pipeline has not been producing as much as it has in the past. So with that loss, plus the loss of tourism, Alaska's feeling it pretty hard. Very hard. I know my neighbor's son works in Alaska in the summer, and he's missed 2 years. I said, you could do something else. And he goes, well, I like Alaska. I said, everyone loves Alaska, but get to work, Adam.
But it seems all of this pressure is something's going on, because now we've noticed this phrasing adjustment in the conditional sail order.
Yes. The CDC, the 12-hour phasing, they wanted, when a ship would dock in the morning at 7 o'clock, it takes about 3 hours to clear a ship. What the CDC wanted was, if you clear the ship by 10, you can't start boarding for 12 hours. Now, as most people who've cruised, you come off one part, go down to customs, you go nowhere near the cruise terminal. You might pass in the street, but that can be, say, okay, don't board until noon. CDC wanted a 12-hour break.
In the gangway. It's impossible.
It's impossible to do. They don't do it at airports. They don't do it at hotels. They're not doing it at Disney World. They're not doing it at Universal. Why? But they removed it, and that is a very good sign going forward.
Very much. And then on top of that, Buttigieg.
Yes. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg is very hopeful that cruises can resume by midsummer. It's not just the CDC that's in control of that. There are several different government entities, among them being the Department of Transportation, that is the safety, for safety at sea, safety on the roads. They overlook everything, so they've got to all work together. And now the Secretary of Transportation is saying, I think it's time to start letting cruises sail.
So much has gone on this past week. Hopefully, with all of these different things, we're going to see just things expedite over these next few weeks. If you're curious about what all the logistics were to actually shut down an entire cruise industry last year. Fabulous documentary was just released this past week. It's available on YouTube. Let me see. We can see it right there. It's called The Cruise Industry Shutdown by Wendover Productions. Just released 6 days ago, already 1 million views. Really, really good. 16 minutes. They go into everything, how they got each, like just Carnival alone, how they got all of their staff back over into Southeast Asia. Really, really interesting. You want to check that out.
Very, very fascinating.
Other cruise news, Bob.
Good news is both Carnival and Royal Caribbean have been stepping up to the plate. You might have heard of St. Vincent and the Soufriere volcano that is exploding. That's actually exploding. It's the most powerful explosions in over 100 years. So the island is truly being affected. Carnival and Royal Caribbean are anchored offshore. They have brought supplies down, and they are there to serve as ferries to evacuate residents if it gets to that point. Right now, the southern part of the island is relatively immune, but the ash and fallout is affecting the water supply. So Royal and Carnival have stepped up to the plate like they have in the past with hurricanes and other natural disasters, and they're ready to serve whatever they need it. So.
And in other kind of positive news, seeing travel resuming, G Adventures reached its 100 trip milestone since its restart. Really exciting. Also, Cancun has registered historical figures for March, more than 692,000 passengers, including many of our very own clients, Bob.
Yes. I've been helping with logistics for a lot of the agents on terms of that, especially making sure they have the COVID proper paperwork and insurance that's needed. So yes, very good news. And Cancun has been up to the plate. They've stepped up to the plate. They've not had major outbreaks. The hotels have been doing a wonderful job with social distancing and cleaning. So Cancun, go visit.
Finally, if we go a little bit farther, yesterday was International Day of Human Spaceflight, which is really cool. It's 60 years ago yesterday, Yuri Gagarin became the first human to enter space. So, hey, right now we're talking about cruising, we're talking about Hawaii, we're talking about Cancun, but I still foresee in the future, Go Travel will be talking about space flight.
Well, it's also, yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the first space shuttle launch.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yes. Yeah. And just one thing I like to say before we get into it, I want to, I think every week I'm going to tell you this unique story about ugly tourists because it's funny. This is a complaint that was received. The client said there were too many Spanish people here. The receptionist spoke Spanish. The food was Spanish. No one told us there would be so many foreigners who spoke Spanish. These clients just returned from Madrid. So don't be that client. If you're going to a place, embrace the local culture. In Spain, they speak Spanish. Yeah. I don't need to say anything. They weren't our customers. Our customers are better educated than that.
Something to learn from there, definitely,
yes.
Bob. Well, like we've hinted, we are off to Hawaii today. I've got my sunglasses. I am ready. Let's go. There's been a lot of news about Hawaii and some things going on. So we're going to get into all of that in a few minutes. But first, I want to show you a video of where we are going today. Wow, I'm ready to pack my bags.
Yes.
Aloha, everybody.
Aloha.
I'm Lindsay Dallahan with the beautiful Andaz Maui at Wailea Resort, which is what you just saw there. I mean, why am I even here? You just need to watch that video. And then I also represent the incredible Hana Maui Resort, both resorts part of Hyatt. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lindsay. I know living in Florida, we had the beach, we have the sand, but the beach and sand in Hawaii is a lot different than what we have in Florida. So I know your resorts are beachfront. So I do have my first question for you.
Sure.
What the heck does Andaz mean?
It's a great question. And I think it's actually really important, especially for people who are not familiar with the Andaz brand itself. Andaz is actually a Hindi word that means personal style. So really every resort and every Andaz property really takes on the personality of its location. So no two properties are going to be the same. Our city properties are very different feeling than our resort beachside properties. So, and they're all just incredible. I've done a whole lot of personal travel to all of our resorts. I swear I'm just doing a tour of myself. So.
So there's no cookie cutter Andaz. Andaz is individuality.
Exactly. Absolutely. And every Andaz too is different depending on what you're going there for, whether you're a family traveler or you're going there for a romantic trip. You can kind of make it what you want.
Very nice. Well, I think let's start. Where are we going to start, Jules?
We're going to start with the news that's going on. How the heck did we get to Hawaii, and what do we make of all the news?
I think that's the thing to get out of the way, right? That's the elephant in the room, isn't it? And I think it's also kind of something that currently is making guests a little bit apprehensive, a little nervous. They don't know what to expect. Right now, you do still have to get a negative NAAT certified COVID test within 72 hours of departing for Hawaii. There are some incredible resources that really walk you through the whole process. My top resource, which I'm sure they can maybe share with you, is www.hawaiicovid19.com/travel. That is hands down the most accurate, up-to-date site on what's going on at any given time. They also are really good at giving you local places to go get tested. So you can look up, where you should go and get that all squared away first. So in addition to getting your testing all squared away, which you upload onto the Hawaii Safe app, there's also the Aloha Safe app that you need to download on your phone. That you need to have on your phone when you actually land. And then, as a lot of people are seeing, there is kind of chatter about an additional testing protocol that the governor is thinking about putting out there. This is not official yet at all. We've seen this a lot where sometimes they will say something that might be coming up and then it just never really comes to fruition. So honestly, until that's officially announced and they have all their ducks in a row, I wouldn't even worry about it.
And Lindsay, can you repeat that website again?
It is hawaiicovid19.com/travel. Okay. And then, of course, getting the Aloha Safe app. The only thing that they're really talking, perfect. So the only thing they're really talking about doing going forward, which would happen towards the end of this month, is additional testing that they would do upon landing. It would be random testing and at no additional cost to the traveler. So that's still very much up in the air. But overall, I've done it several times. It's a very easy process, a lot easier than people might think going into it. So don't let it prevent you from going, certainly.
And Lindsay, I'll let you know, we were just in a meeting this morning with our advisors, and I heard from one of our advisors, he has clients there right now. They downloaded the app. Everything seems to be going well and very smoothly. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I've done it a few times, and I think it's a lot smoother once you're getting closer to your date of travel, and you can, because they say, you can't fill out this form until you're within 72 hours. So you're like, oh, what is this going to look like? But once you're in it, it's a few simple questions. You upload your test results, you're good to go. It's very, very simple.
It sounds like it's easier than it sounds.
Exactly.
It's just intimidating.
As long as you've got your place to go get tested, that is really the most important thing, is finding that local testing site that will, get you your results in a timely manner. So, and yay, this is what we're talking about right here.
Why don't you talk about where we're going today, now that we've kind of gotten some of that protocol things out of the way?
So what I love about my two properties are that they are very different and unique, and really represent two very different areas on Maui. Maui is just, first of all, kind of your good all-around island, no matter what you are going for. You have all the incredible beaches and waterfalls and hikes and bamboo forests, but you also have incredible dining. So it's a good kind of all-around experience. Andaz Maui at Wailea Resort is, of course, in Wailea. You'll see that on the southeastern side of the island there. And really, Wailea is going to be very well known for being kind of that premier, very high-end part of the island. That's where you're going to find, hands down, the best resorts. Also, an incredible foodie scene on that side of the island. So if you love kind of hopping around and eating at a bunch of different places, going to high-end shops, that's going to be, your jam. We also have, of course, the little, what it's called, I'll show it on as we go into my slides, but you have the Wailea Beach Walk that kind of really connects all the different resorts there. So that's a neat place to walk. Now, as you go to the other side of the island, the north side, you can see, you can kind of see where Hana is on that northwestern side of the island, northeastern side of the island. Now, Hana is a different ball game. Hana is very small, very intimate. There are a couple restaurants there total. There's not a lot of shops and stuff like that. Really, the name of the game on that side of the island is going to be adventuring and kind of exploring Hawaii in its very untouched state. So that's really where you're going to find black sand beaches and a much more lush kind of environment that you get in your car and just go explore on your own. So
it sounds like you can do it all while you're on Maui, but if you want to be in the resorty area where you have access to all of the restaurants and everything closer, you're going to want to do Wailea, the upscale type of thing. And then Hana is where more of the time you're going to be escaping.
Exactly. I think Hana, the whole name of the game there is really to disconnect from the world and reconnect with either yourself or the people that you're traveling with. That's really what it's about. There's this incredible, magical, tranquil setting there that's just unlike anywhere else I've ever been. It's a really special place.
Lindsay, about how far is it from Wailea to Hana?
So it's about a 2.5-hour drive, and that's if you're hustling to get there. A lot of people may have heard about the Road to Hana, which is really one of the most popular tourist attractions to do there. And that's really where you head out in a car, or certainly you can do an organized tour. But you are heading out on this tiny little one-lane road, and it's just hairpin turns right on the coastline. There are just this lush bamboo forest that's there, and you're stopping every few minutes to see waterfalls and do little hikes. And, that's where you want to just kind of bring a picnic lunch and don't give yourself any kind of schedule because you're going to want to stop and go, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. It's just incredible.
Do you have a lot of guests that will stay at the Andaz for a while and then maybe move over to the Hana?
Yes. It's actually a really good combination because you do get the best of both worlds, right? You get that resort experience where you have a lot of organized, coordinated activities that you can do. And then you go and get away from all that. And it's about, self-guided exploration and definitely geared towards that independent traveler. You're making your own way in Hana. So it's really nice to see those kind of yin yang experiences on the island. I think it's really special. So
let's take a look. Let's take a look at these properties because I know you've brought with us some slides today.
I did. No better way to showcase than to kind of show you guys pictures instead of listening to me yammer on, right? So Andaz Maui, we were so lucky to be voted the #1 resort in Hawaii by Condé Nast this last year. You can see there are incredible pools. You have 5 ocean-facing pools there, really something for everyone. And then you can see, again, kind of on this next slide here, where I was talking about the Wailea area. You really do have some of the most beautiful beaches there. There's great snorkeling right out in front of the hotel, lots of water activities that really are falling under that umbrella of your resort fee. So what ends up happening is, because we have the resort fee that we do, I know that's a dirty word in the travel business, but it really does save our guests a lot of money while they're there. You have outrigger and kayak excursions, mixology sessions, all kinds of stuff for the kiddos too. So it really means we're not kind of nickel and diming you once you're there. So you can see how beautiful the hotel is and our lounge. And then that next slide that we have is going to showcase some of the rooms and also just some of the COVID precautions that we have in place. What's really neat is both of our resorts were really made for social distancing. We have tons of outdoor space that you can spread out on. Whether it's, in your own personal villa that you see there, or of course in some incredible restaurants too.
Now, Lindsay, you did say, as we're going through the rooms and things, and you mentioned families, how adaptable, how good is the Andaz for families?
It's kind of one of those resorts, like I said, how Andaz is really what you make it. Mm-hmm. Certainly we are, I think, known for being this place for romantic getaways, just because the resort is so kind of intimate and romantic and tranquil. But the kids love it too. We've got this huge lagoon pool down below, which has kind of that 0 entry. So that's kind of where your kiddos are going to hang out, where your families are. Of course, you combine that with the beach right there and all the wonderful beach activities, the snorkeling and the outrigger and all that kind of good stuff that you mentioned. The families kind of gravitate towards that area of the property. And then you have your romantic kind of getaways that are up on the Infinity Edge pools. So it's kind of nice. People have just naturally their own places to hang out.
Very nice.
So if we continue on too, you can see this was actually voted the #1 luau, and we've only been doing it for about 2 years now. So this is a luxury luau, again, limited capacity, but it was kind of made for these COVID times because it's not the typical buffet that you're used to. Everything is served, multiple courses, right there to your own private table. Every drink is made to order. So that's still going on currently. And then the big news with Andaz, and this actually ties back a lot to what you were mentioning with families, we have already 11 villas on property that are 2 to 4 bedrooms. And then as of May, we are launching 19 new villas that are all 3 bedrooms. You can see some of the renderings here that I'm giving you guys a little sneak peek at. So these are all going to be 3 bedrooms. They have the ability to connect, which is really amazing for larger, more extended families. But what's really cool too is that this makes the villa experience more, I guess, achievable for that typical family. These new guys are going to be at a lower price point. So, very much reachable, for that typical family traveler. So I think there's one more maybe set of pictures that you can see there, but open floor plans, really just great for families. So definitely encourage people to check into that.
Well, and again, when you go away and you want to experience Hawaii and you want to experience the open spaces, you also, where the place where you stay, you want to feel open and you want to feel that space that you would potentially have also at home.
Absolutely. And I think especially if you're there with groups of friends or families, like it's kind of nice to have that home base to hang out in the evenings and have cocktails and play games, or, you know, just get up in the morning and have bagels in your own kitchen. It definitely has that homey feel to it. But then, of course, you have all the services and the activities of the resort. So it's the best of both worlds, kind of.
Lindsay, in those villas and in the kitchen and these rooms, can you have a private chef come in to prepare dinner for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Our team, so when you rent one of these villas with us, I immediately would introduce the guests or you as their travel advisor to our VIP team. And really, they are the ones that take the experience to the next level with private chefs or activities that are a little bit more of a premier activity for these special clients. They are going to really have eyes on these clients from beginning to end and be the on-property contacts with them. So they're the ones that really kind of take that experience up a notch and really customize it for them.
Excellent.
And Lindsay, for anyone watching that's thinking, okay, am I the right type of guest for Andaz? Who is an Andaz guest?
You know what? It's hard for me to really say because we do so well with so many different demographics. You know, we of course do well with millennials that are coming for a young, fun time with their friends or their groups of couples traveling together. We also have some of our best guests that is this 80-year-old couple, and they stay every other month with us. I mean, I can't make it up. And they love it because it's more of a tranquil environment. I think the biggest misconception is that Andaz is this kind of party hotel and it's loud music and that kind of thing. And it just really couldn't be further from the truth. So we really do cater to a lot of different groups.
Great. Well, I have Hana now. Why don't we do a little shift over there?
Yes. So Hana is also part of the Hyatt portfolio, and we just took this property on towards the end of 2020. And Hana is really the only game in town out on that side of the island. We have 74 total rooms. So we are very small and intimate, but we are spread across 66 acres. You can actually see on this next shot, a lot of the accommodations that we have are more of that bungalow style accommodation. So very, very spacious. And we are oceanfront in a sense, but not beachfront. So you'll see we have that beautiful rocky coastline. I actually stayed there for the first time after they hired me to work at the property. And I was, just blown away. It felt like I'd won the lotto. I was walking out on those lawns right there, watching the waves crash on that rocky shoreline. And it is exactly as green as it looks there, and just having kind of a National Geographic moment. I thought it's just a really special place. And you can kind of see like I said, it's very small. You have one restaurant out there. You have another little poolside bar. You know, the name of the game is that individual traveler, hands down. The one that is a little bit more independent, rather. So you're going to grab a picnic lunch from Hana Dry Goods in the morning, and you are going to head out to go hike through bamboo forests and check out waterfalls and go to Haleakala National Park. There is just a wealth of things to do for the outdoor lover. So,
Lindsay, is this sounds like it's not quite geared towards families, though?
It absolutely is. But the families really have to just be that, like I said, that more of that independent kind of traveler. They love to get in the car and they're going to go take the family to Haleakala National Park, you know, or they're going to hop on our courtesy shuttle and go out to Hamoa Beach for the day. There are a lot of activities. Of course, there's the pool. You know, you can camp out with the family by the pool, but there's a ton to see outdoors. So that's really the name of the game. So you just have to kind of feel out that specific guest for this property, I think. One that just really loves being outside and you know, loves to do that kind of thing with their families, go hiking and stuff like that. And of course, we have incredible accommodations for both singles, couples, and families alike. You have these beautiful bungalows as well as standard guest rooms. All of our accommodations will have a nice dining room table in there, wet bar, spacious private lanai with outdoor seating. The ocean view and oceanfront bungalows are just where it's at. For couples, we have jacuzzi bungalows that are oceanfront. So you can sit in the jacuzzi with your glass of rosé, watching the waves crash. Pretty romantic. And then we also do have 1 and 2 bedroom residences as well. So a little bit larger for those extended families. And then you can see firsthand some of the activities that I was talking about there. The pools of Ohio, Venus pools, and all these kind of like bamboo hikes. These are all going to be found only 15 minutes away from the resort at the Haleakala National Park. So just tons to do there. And you can see even on that very next slide, just a couple more things, the bamboo forest. You also have Waianapa Napa State Park, which is about 10 minutes away, beautiful black beach. And there's so much to do there that it's kind of always a shame when people just do the road to Hana, which, as I told you guys, is like 2.5 hours long, right? And you explore that all day, and then you get to Hana, you realize I have to do that all over again just to get back to my hotel. So it can be pretty exhausting, but then you've also missed all the things that are in Hana to do. So it's definitely worth a stay. And then
the deals, right?
Absolutely. So all your friends at Go Travel, of course, can get you guys access to these special inclusions. They are really the ticket to the overall value with the stay at this resort. So you have daily breakfast for 2 at each property. You also have resort credits. What's also really neat is if you combine a stay in Hana with your stay at either Andaz Maui or even the Hyatt Regency Maui up in Kaanapali, we will double your resort credit in Hana. So some pretty nice offers there. And you can also see free nights and all kinds of good stuff.
Very nice. Excellent.
So if you are thinking, if this is just tantalizing the taste buds, reach out to your Go Travel advisor who will have access to these special exclusive deals for you.
Definitely. They will be in very good hands with you guys.
Lindsay, does the resort offer transfer services to and from the airport?
We don't, unfortunately. So Andaz is about 25 minutes from the Kahului airport. So we don't unfortunately have enough vehicles in our fleet basically to do the transfers, but it's really, really easy to get back and forth, whether you're just doing a taxi at the airport, which is readily available, or you can even do ride share, or certainly our concierge team can help you to arrange private transfers. In Hana, if guests do fly to Hana, which is super easy and super cheap to fly from Kahului or another neighboring island directly into Hana, we will pick them up at the Hana airport with our shuttle. So
most of our guests would probably fly in on the nonstop flight from Orlando to Honolulu. So they could get Honolulu to Hana then. There are flights from Honolulu to Hana that they would take to get to there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. So, and our team will help, to kind of figure out all the logistics of to and fro.
And special events, someone who's going on their honeymoon. We should tell the hotel what's going on, but what are some of the little treats they may give for like 25th anniversary or a honeymooner?
We have so many things that we can do to really kind of make this special for them. Obviously, they will get an incredible kind of welcome amenity helping them to just kind of kick off the trip and recognize whatever that special occasion is for them, whether it's a bottle of champagne or we love kind of showcasing our local purveyors, and we always, send local treats or snacks or things like that. So we try to make it as special as possible.
Bob, we don't want to tell them all the secrets. We want our guests to be surprised.
I just was curious, But I was thinking of the honeymooners that just
let
went.
your advisor know if you have a special occasion, because this is important for us to know to be able to communicate with Lindsay and her team.
Definitely. The more we can know about you and our clients, that our agents know about you, the more we can make enhancements to your trip.
Absolutely. And, that's one of the things that I think our team on property is really, they get excited about is, for example, we've had a lot of people getting engaged at the properties, as you can imagine. And I just so happened to be there for one of these engagements the last time I was on property. And they had done, I wish I would have shown you guys a picture of this. They did this huge "Marry Me" sign that was floating in one of our infinity pools, made of completely of flowers.
Wow.
And so he stepped across, with his future bride, just on that little kind of deck there off of our lobby. And she sees the sign and he gets on one knee, and everybody in the lobby is just cheering. And it was a blast. So our team loves to kind of do that kind of thing.
Wonderful. Andaz style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I love this idea because especially right now, I mean, hey, traveling internationally is still tricky. We're still kind of working all out all the kinks, but Hawaii, it's part of us. It seems very clear what you guys are doing on the website that you've mentioned before. They're defining all of the rules, and our advisors are sending people there right now. So we are up to date on what's going on. And of course, with a partner like Lindsay, we have access to all that latest information. And it feels like you're going across the world. So
it really does.
And once you get to even just Maui alone, it's almost like you've got different countries and states between, Hana, and then you go to the different islands as well. But I think this is just a great summer idea, whether you're honeymooning or whether you're just getting away. Maui has some great things to offer.
You really do get that sense of place there. You really do go for the culture. That the Aloha spirit is alive and well, and it's palpable there. So I think it does feel safe. It feels like a safe destination, which it very much is. But it does have that culture that a lot of people are really looking for. So it's a very special place.
Lindsay, is there any seasonality to Maui?
Well, Maui's amazing year-round. We're very lucky. The only seasonality really I would be aware of is in terms of price. Festive season will take everything from your pocketbook. So if you're looking to, kind of pinch pennies, or you're looking for more of those affordable times, maybe you're going to gear more towards a spring, April, May kind of deal, or getting into October, early November. Those are some great times to find some better deals and some more cost-effective pricing out there versus any kind of holiday. I mean, 4th of July, festive, things like that. But otherwise, the weather's warm and the water's warm all the time. You might see a little bit of the rainy season earlier on in the year, maybe in February, but even that is very kind of up and down. So yeah, never really a bad time to go.
Excellent.
Well, Lindsay, it's been so much fun to have you with us today. I'm going to give you a second to do some final thoughts, but first, Bob, any final thoughts?
No, just if you want, just remember what Lindsay said: bigger bang for your buck, spring or fall. Maybe you can spend a few more days there if you go at that time of year. And going all the way from Florida on an 11-hour flight, you want to get the biggest bang for your buck you can get. So thank you very much, Lindsay. It's been very informative. I wasn't quite aware of that, and I completely forgot about the Black Sand Beach that's over by Hana. So that's on my bucket list, just to walk on it at least once.
Absolutely. You got to go over there on your, kind of wellness retreat too. Go, hang out at the black sand beach and then go get a massage back at the resort and some fresh poke. It's not a bad day.
Love poke.
Oh, so good.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. We're going to exit on a beautiful video showcasing Hawaii, which I love the theme of just let Hawaii happen to you. I think it's so cool. Do you have any final notes to everybody out there?
No, we're just so excited to see people traveling again and welcome people back out to the island and really just kind of do what we do best. So it's very exciting to be back at it again. And mahalo for all the wonderful support. It's been great being here, you guys.
Mahalo to you, Lindsay. Thank you.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to play a video right now, but we'll see you next week, Tuesday at 2 o'clock for our next Tuesday travel chat.
Thank you.
Bye.